She gave us all she had, but we went and took some more. Can't seem to shut her legs. Your mother nature is a whore. This is a song line from Survivalism off the 9 Inch Nails album Year Zero. My purpose today is to inform you about 9 Inch Nails, the sensational music awesomeness. I may not be a professional in the music industry, but I think most people would consider me an expert on 9 Inch Nails. I've been listening to 9 Inch Nails music since I was 12 years old, and I've always followed the exploits of the lead singer, and pretty much Trent Reznor is 9 Inch Nails. It does everything. Today I'm going to speak to you about Trent Reznor's history, his business practices, and his unique style of advertisement. Trent Reznor is basically a man that built himself up from nothing. It's hard to go from a janitor at a recording studio to one of the biggest legends in industrial rock music. According to my source, wiki, and it was updated in 2009, he was born Michael Trent Reznor, and he went by his middle name Trent to avoid confusion between him and his dad. He was born in Mercer, Pennsylvania on May 17, 1965. His parents divorced when he was really young, so he ended up growing up with his grandparents and his sister. He graduated high school in 1983, but when he was in high school, he was part of the band The Clicks. And in his high school and the surrounding area, they were extremely popular as an up-and-coming, fun cover band that had really high-energy performances. Now, after high school, he went away to Allegheny College, but soon he left to pursue his music career because he didn't like it at college. Now, after he left college, he moved to Ohio and he joined a bunch of different local bands like Option 13, The Exotic Birds, and The Problem. But every time he joined the band, he found himself quickly leaving because they didn't agree with his ideals. And to him, as an artist, that was the most important thing to him, to get his ideas across. So after leaving all those bands, he ended up getting a job as a janitor at Midtown Records. While there, he had a really good relationship with his boss, and his boss allowed him to use the recording equipment while it wasn't being used. So Trent Reznor started looking for band members to get in on his band, but again, he kept finding that nobody really agreed with his ideals, and he wanted his ideas to come across in his music. So inspired by really big artists like Prince and David Bowie, he decided, well, I don't need any freaking people in my band, I'll do all the instrumentals myself. And that's exactly what he did. Besides drums, he plays all the instrumentals and sings all the music for his 9 Inch Nails. While he was a janitor at Midtown Records, he recorded most of his first album, Pretty Hate Machine, which was amazing and sold thousands of copies. Did that all while he was just a janitor. So, now that you know a little bit about Trent Reznor's history, I'd like to get into his business practices. Now, according to Anthony Bruno in my source, Teachings of Trent, which was done in 2007, Trent Reznor follows 5 main ideals in his business practices. The first, less is more. He doesn't want to shove his ideas down your throat. He wants to give you a little bit of taste, and if you're interested, you will come and get it. The second is give a little to get a little. The third, give customers what they want. And Reznor always stresses this in everything he does, as you will see in a little bit. After that, remain relevant. He wants his ideas in there, and he doesn't want to just go off on wild, crazy topics. And after that is convergence is key, which means bring everything together to make a solid product. Now, as I said, one of his things is give the customers what they want, and he always sticks up for his fans. He's left multiple record labels because they charge too much for his products and his art, and he doesn't think it's right. Now, this clip here is from a show he did, and it shows how well he sticks up for his fans.
Lots and lots of familiar faces. Is there anybody here tonight that wasn't at Middle Park last night? Hey, welcome. Talked a lot last night. tonight, I'm not talking so much. You know, I woke up this morning and I forgot where I was for a minute. And I remember last time I was here, I was doing a lot of complaining about the ridiculous prices of CDs down here. And that story got picked up and got carried all around the world, and now my record label all around the world hates me because I yelled at them and called them out for being greedy fucking assholes. I didn't get a chance to check. Has the price come down at all? I see a no, a no, a no, a no. Has anyone seen the price come down? Okay. Well, you know what that means. Steal it. Steal away. Steal some more, and keep it to all your friends, and keep on stealing. If one way or another these motherfuckers will get it through their heads and they're ripping people off, and that's not right.
Now, a lot of people would say that that's just a lip service and he's not actually going to follow through with what he says. But if you don't think it's true, a year after that, he released his 9 Inch Nails' new album, The Slip, for free online to everybody. The only thing he did was he put it online and he left a little note that said, "For all my fans, this one's on trend." And he gave it away for free. And it wasn't a blow-off album. It had full tracks. And it was amazing. You could have made thousands of dollars off of it, but instead he put it on for free for all of his loyal fans. Now that I've told you some of Trent Reznor's business practices, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to tell you about his crazy, awesome, unique style of advertisement. Mainly, the thing I want to talk about is Year Zero, which is basically this crazy alternate reality game that Trent Reznor dreamed up for his fans before Year Zero, the album, came out. It was basically this gigantic scavenger hunt where he got all of his fans to follow all these off-topic clues and secret things, the meetings, phone calls, and if you followed it, you'd learn the story behind Year Zero, and the story was also parallel in his songs. And one amazing thing he did was, if you followed some of his clues and went to a certain website and put your phone number in, the Resistance, which is part of the whole Year Zero storyline, would call you and tell you to meet them in a certain place. From there, they ship you on buses and make you sign a waiver, basically saying they can do whatever they want to you, and they take your phones and all your electronic equipment, and they ship you to this beat-up, crappy-ass warehouse in the middle of nowhere. Then they get a resistance meeting where a guy basically sits in front of them and tells them to wake the fuck up, and what are they doing? Signing a waiver saying that these people can do anything they want to them. And then get on a rickety-ass bus and go to the middle of nowhere where anything can happen. But then they ship them downstairs, and there's a 9 Inch Nails concert hidden, and that's just amazing. These people got a free 9 Inch Nails concert. But at the end of the concert, the door busts in and cops run in uniform, and it's a SWAT team, and they're shooting people and hustling everyone out. And the Resistance is forcing them out of the doors, and no one knows what's going on. And I just think that's crazy advertisement. Everybody bought that album. It was insane. So, from my source, Entertainment Weekly, Will Hermes said that Starfuckers Inc., which was a song, may be the best musical flip-off ever. And he just shows how Trent Reznor doesn't care, and he's going to do things his own way, and he doesn't like the music industry. And my New York Times source from 2008, John Peralez, is just talking about Trent Reznor and his crazy shows with the crazy light shows, and it's basically Trent Reznor's brain around you. And the band is covered in technological firestorm. My source from New York Times 2007 by Santa Kefla, basically talking about Year Zero, says, "It's a pretty neat trick, just knowing there's a hidden story makes those generically disaffected words sound less generic." Okay, so now that I've told you about his advertising, I'd like to kind of sum stuff up. And I told you basically about his history, about his business practices, and about his crazy advertisement. But now it's been 20 years since 9 Inch Nails came out, and I kind of have to bear the bad news. But Trent Reznor is sick of the music industry, and he's calling it quits. He said he's going for one last tour, and then he's going to make 9 Inch Nails disappear for a while. So I figured I'd rather than just give a concluding statement, I'd kind of give a statement from my source, the New York Times, 2005, John Parames, and he's just basically going over Nine Inch Nails. And he said, since the band's debut album in 1989, on which Mr. Reznor played nearly all the instruments, he's been rock's voice of rage, bitterness, and inconsolable despair, lashing out both of the worlds that betrays him and his own malignant soul. While his lyrics are blunt, after everything I've done, I hate myself for what I've become.